a critique of Africa's rejection of democracy, without offering a viable alternative. This critique explores the growing trend among African leaders, institutions and intellectuals to reject democracy as a foreign system incompatible with African values and traditions. While it is entirely within Africa's rights to reject democracy, such a rejection is only justifiable if it is accompanied by the presentation of a viable, homegrown alternative that is capable of delivering good governance, development, and social cohesion. Over the years, various African voices have criticized democracy, claiming that it fails to align with the continent's historical and cultural realities. However, amid these criticisms, what remains conspicuously absent is any serious attempt to construct and present a governance model crafted by Africans and for Africans, one that can effectively replace democracy in both principle and practice. This critique does not seek to portray democracy as flawless. Like any system of governance, it has its weaknesses and limitations. However, when measured against other known systems, military rule, authoritarian regimes, theocracies and monarchies, democracy has proven over time to be the most resilient and inclusive. Its strengths lie in its foundational principles: the sovereignty of the people, grassroots participation, protection of human rights, and the establishment of accountable institutions. These qualities have made democracy the dominant system globally, to the extent that even non-democratic regimes often label themselves as democratic to gain legitimacy. The collapse of communism and the global retreat of authoritarian ideologies further cemented democracy's place as the most viable modern system of governance. Ironically, this dominance has also given rise to certain contradictions, particularly in the African context. The Western powers that introduced democracy to Africa continue to judge its implementation across the continent, often with a noticeable double standard. A regime with poor democratic credentials may still receive Western support if it aligns with foreign interests, exposing the hypocrisy and geopolitical manipulation involved. Despite this, the main concern should not be the West's inconsistency, but rather Africa's inability to produce a credible, indigenous alternative to democracy. Many African governments simultaneously claim to be democratic while violating its fundamental principles. When convenient, they use democratic rhetoric to justify their actions or gain international support, yet they are quick to dismiss democracy as alien and inappropriate when facing criticism or internal dissent. This duality raises a fundamental question. If democracy is genuinely unsuitable for Africa, why have African countries failed to develop their own effective system of governance rooted in their traditions and cultural values? It is not just democracy that has been challenged in Africa, but many modern concepts of governance, accountability, rule of law, transparency, and civic responsibility have also struggled to take root in Africa. If African nations truly believe their challenges stem from the imposition of democracy, they now have the opportunity, particularly in a multipolar and increasingly open world, to create and champion their own political systems. These systems should be able to deliver social, economic, and political development that is sustainable and reflects the lived realities of their people. Citizens must also play a role in this process. They must hold their leaders accountable, either by demanding the full and proper implementation of democratic principles, independent of Western approval, or by pushing for an alternative system that is homegrown, coherent, and more suited to African contexts. Without this initiative, criticisms of democracy risk becoming empty rhetoric, used only to justify poor governance and the perpetuation of elite control. Point values your perspective and encourages you to share your thoughts on the topics we present. Feel free to comment and share with your network to spark broader discussions.